Hong Kong Direct is your weekly racing roundup full of news, views, interviews, previews and special guests. And coming up on the show today, if you hadn't guessed already, we got up early to come to the trials at Sha Tin to see what goes on behind the scenes and how it all works. So we're down in the sand yards here at Sha Tin. The main stabling complex is just behind us there. We've got 10 trials going on this morning, so it started at 7 a.m. This is the sand yard where the horses will come in and walk around, the jockeys will jump on board. Behind us we've got the trotting ring where the horses will warm up prior to the trials themselves. As you can see behind us, jockeys and trainers congregate here to watch the trials on the big screens, and this is where they'll come back in. We've got a mixture of turf and all-weather trials this morning. For the turf trials, they just head out through the little walkway up there onto the main track itself, and for the all-weather there's a little walkway down over by the main gate which takes them under the course and out onto the all-weather. So a busy morning here, everyone doing their part, the lads warming the horses up, bringing them out for the jockeys and the trainers. We're going to catch up with a few of the people involved to keep it moving, to make it a well-oiled machine as well. And we'll start off, hopefully if we can catch him, with trainer Douglas White. Douglas, I know the trials morning are always very busy for you, but can you give us an overview of what you use them for, in a sense? I know it probably depends on, whether it's a new horse or a, experienced horse, but how do you use your trials and what are the benefits for you?
Yeah, well, as you yourself indicated, it depends on the individual. Obviously, the PPGs, they have to pass a series of trials before they can, and be competitive before they can go to the races, which is clearly an advisable thing to do. It gives everybody a better guide of the horses, and it gives them an experience to get introduced to Hong Kong racing. The older horses and the horses that your group horses or horses that haven't raced for a while, you obviously use the barrier trials as a fitness tool, or just a trial to keep them ticking over. And so those are the two differences, I'd say, from PPG and a PP perspective.
Do you have a certain style in the way that you like your horses to trial? Again, it depends on the individual horse, but do you trial them as you'd like them to race on race day as well?
I try to trial them in a similar fashion. I like my horses to be slightly quieter in the beginning of a trial, and I enjoy to see them hit the line under their own steam. I'm not one, and never was when I was a jockey either. I don't like the whip to be drawn on them, and I don't take them to the trials to have a gut buster. They go there so that we can take the trial and improve from it.
And just like on a race day, you're giving the jockey specific instructions to follow in the trial, what you'd like to see?
Well, you'd like to. Most of all, you'd like the jockey to get a feel of the horse, so that he when it comes to race day, you come up with a game plan. He understands a little bit about the horse, and he knows what he can and can't do.
Yeah, and you're allowed to ride track work, but they don't let you ride in the trials anymore?
Unfortunately, no. Never mind trials. I wouldn't mind taking a dual license and riding in the races. But no, I can't do any trials. It's sometimes quite tedious standing here watching the trials. But yes, I'm very fortunate enough to still do my own track work, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
You've got to let go eventually, haven't you? One final point, you had your good horse, Russian Emperor, trialling this morning, all on track for the Champions and Chater Cup?
Yes, he's a perfect example of a horse just having a hit out, leading into the Champions and Chater, and it's just on 2 weeks away. So, just under 2 weeks away. So that'll be a nice preparation trial for him, and he seemed to hit the line in good order. He stretched out and had a good blow, so yeah, he's on track.
So hope it keeps raining as well.
Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers and toes.
Brilliant. I know it's a busy morning for you, Douglas. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Inside the final 200 metres, and it's McLucky just in front here over Amazing Rocky, but there isn't too much between them. 2.5 away, then came War of Courage, but down they come, McLucky in front, and he's going on to win quite nicely with the ears pricked. McLucky is beaten home. Amazing Rocky second. Margin was about 2.5 lengths, followed there by War of Courage. Packing Victory was doing his best work late, with Russian Emperor giving a good solid hit out over the last 150 metres and further past the line.
Well, from a jockey's perspective, please say I'm joined by Harry Bentley now. And Harry, just before we get to the trials themselves, I'm assuming before you came to Hong Kong, you weren't riding, certainly not in the UK or anywhere else you've ridden. This would be a new experience before you arrived?
No, that's right. Wherever I've been, whether it be in the Middle East or in the UK, I've never ridden trials. They brought in a little bit of initiative in the UK to have a couple of trials, but it's nothing on the scale like we do here.
Yeah. So we've had 10 trials. We're in the middle of 10 trials. They're going out for the next one now. I'm assuming you use the trials for a lot of different reasons, but from your perspective, what are you looking to? You've just ridden a horse who's never had a start before, so it's an education purpose as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, that's totally right. I mean, I guess from a jockey's perspective, you're looking for a horse where it's at potential in its fitness. You can gauge what sort of distance it might be wanting. Often these horses are trialling over distances which probably isn't going to be the distance they're racing over, but you can get a good idea on how they're travelling at that sort of pace and if they're able to keep up to that sort of gallop in a race. So you get a lot of gauges on behaviour, how they are in the stalls. I mean, there's so much knowledge that you can take out of a trial.
And how does it work in terms of getting the rides? You're chasing rides on race day, but for the trials themselves, are you chasing those as well, or do the trainers just approach you and say, can you ride this one for me?
Well, here it seems to be that the trainers approach you and either ask you to ride a trial, or you're simply put on them, and then you find out when the list of trials comes out. So that seems to be the way it's done. But also if you ride a trial on a horse that you think goes quite nicely, then of course you can ask to stick on it for its next time. For example, the horse I've just ridden there, I like the way he went, considering he's going to need further than the distance he trialled over. He gave me a nice feeling, so obviously I'd like to stick on him next time and see him progress.
Yeah, so you get a nice feel off one, get a little bit of a tune-up, and you say, yeah, I want to be on him race day.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess for the trainer's point of view, it's good to have perhaps the same jockey on, because then he can tell you how it's progressed fitness-wise between trials and how it's coming on mentally. So I think the trainer and the jockey can take a lot away from it. And
the trials morning can be quite long as well, but have you already ridden track work before? The trials start at 7 o'clock. Have you ever been up though and riding track work before that?
Yeah, often we're up before the trials and riding track work early mornings. I mean, it can vary. Sometimes you're up at sort of 5:30 and riding track work, or you could be at 7 o'clock. So it varies on week to week.
All right, well, we'll let you kick on. Thanks, Harry.
Pleasure, thank you.
150 left to go. Hong Kong bet in front, Special M, Lucky Fun, Great Brilliant. Hong Kong bet, Lucky Fun, Special M, Hong Kong bet in front at the post. He wins from in photo second, Lucky Fun or Special M. Maybe Jazz Club fourth in front of Great Brilliant, Ping Hai Bravo. And then came Fly on Earth and Lucky Express, the last one.
HKJC stipendiary steward, then Terry Bailey joins me now. Terry, you're the man in charge this morning. How does it all work?
Morning, Andrew. Yeah, no, it all works pretty well, pretty much all the time. It's good clockwork, but our job is to make sure we've got the right horses and the right jockeys, and it generally runs pretty smoothly.
So we've got over 70 horses, I think, this morning, so everyone sort of does their part to make sure it all keeps moving. We've had a trial every 15 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, we try and run 5 an hour, so the trainers and jockeys and all the staff are very supportive, and we start on time, we finish on time generally with no hiccups, so yeah, it works well.
As far as the trials are concerned, is it every horse that arrives here in Hong Kong, regardless of the race or not, they have to trial at least once before they hit the racecourse?
Absolutely, yeah, and unraced ones, the PPGs have to go around twice, so there's certainly a big demand for trials, and particularly when we're on the grass.
And the trainers are obviously looking for something there, but what are you looking for when you see the horses trial too?
Well, we have a number of horses have got a trial if they perform poorly. First starters, unraced horses, they've got to finish within a certain margin from the winner before they can be passed a race. Horses are trialling for blinkers, all that sort of stuff that needs to be approved by the Racing Control Department before they're permitted to race. So there's a bit happening.
And so you're obviously watching everything live, but you'll go back and review the tapes as well afterwards?
Yes, we watch the replays afterwards, and then again back in the office and before the results are sent out in the afternoon.
No stewards' inquiries though on trial morning, so everyone's behaving themselves.
Yeah, no, they're all very cooperative, and there's the odd hiccup, someone slipped in or something, but generally it works pretty well.
All right, great stuff. I know it's a busy morning for you, Terry. We'll let you kick on.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. So that was a little look behind the scenes as to what goes on at the trials here at Sha Tin. Hopefully gave you a little bit of an insight. As far as racing is concerned, well, we're back here at Sha Tin, of course, on Sunday. Happy Valley Wednesday night. Then it's the big one next Sunday. Final Group 1 of the year, the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup. Just about all we got time for. We're going to leave you this week with a great winner of the Champions and Chater Cup. That's going back to Pakistan star and Tommy Berry from just a few years ago. Enjoy this. We'll see you again on Sunday. But all the action from Sha Tin direct to you.
Eagle Way is now the first to come off the fence. 2 further back, Chemical Charge. 2 to Goldmount, who's now ridden along as they start to put the sprint in. Exultant 600 metres out in the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup is now only a half to 3/4 as Pakistan Star emerges. Eagle Way trying to flush him out. 2 back, Chemical Charge and Goldmount. Pakistan Star, he's sitting motionless, Berry, as he races to Exultant. Then further back, Eagle Way, who can't match them. Chemical Charge and Goldmount. Pakistan Star given a taste of the persuader with 100 to go, and he's burst away from Exultant, trying to stick on. Then Eagle Way, but Pakistan Star, he is the shining light of Hong Kong racing, and he takes a second Group 1. Pakistan Star from Exultant